Cyclone Victor serves as a reminder for disaster preparedness and risk reduction measures. An end of an era for Niue Primary School in Halamahaga as a new school site at Paliasi is completed and handed over to government. The first meeting of the Niue Legislative Assembly brings forth lively debate. The Kai fever kickstarts the new year with the island on a festive high, but the Niue police continue with their caution for road safety. Last week, Niue was affected by Cyclone Victor, a Category 3 cyclone that has been noted as the third cyclone for the season. The cyclone season started in November, and there are further predictions to expect more to come. The Niue Disaster Council were quick to respond using information from the Niue Meteorological Service and the Fiji Meteorological Services to base their decisions to issue a blue alert on a Friday that was later upgraded to yellow alert the following day. There are also various notices issued for people to take precautionary action. The cyclone has been described as one of the most drawn out, where the public service were also on leave up until Wednesday last week. We spoke to the Niue Disaster Council officer about the Cyclone Victor.
But in comparison with the last two cyclones that we had, the first two, the Victor one took quite some time, and I think this is the longest we've ever had on the cyclone from a blue alert to a yellow alert, and it lasted for about like 6 days. So because of the way they're predicting the cyclone to be on its way, and it's pretty good, but then again it was very slow in moving, so it tended to be staying in one area for a very long time. So those are the precautions we were taking. Otherwise, anything can happen. The cyclone can change on its track. We're just encouraging all the village councils to take active in preparing the disaster plans and carry it out, follow the disaster plans, and that goes with all the departments, so they'll be able to be more prepared than now that we have 3 in a row. They'll be able to better perform and able to be better prepared in giving out information to their residents of their village. So we don't want people to be complacent or, they just think we didn't get hit in the last 3 cyclones. But, we should always just be prepared. So that's our main goal in wanting to encourage our people to stay prepared, because so far all the response and everybody's been really good.
Essential services were also working 24 hours to relay and communicate information for people to make decisions and take action. The response from the community has also served as an indicator that people are aware of what needs to be done, but there are areas that need to be monitored to ensure that people do not become complacent. This latest natural disaster has served as a reminder for the community to be prepared and to take heed of the precautions and warnings issued.
For everyone, we'd just like to thank everybody for taking heed to all the information that we're giving out, and then we hope that everybody will still keep up and listen to those informations that we will put out. Because in these last 2 cyclones, the track that it's coming from the other side of the island, that is totally different than our usual path that normally come from the northwest, or the effect that we'll get on the western coast. So these 2 cyclones, it's a pretty new track for us, so we are keeping that in mind, and also a record on the activities or the strength of the winds from that direction, in order for us to improve and in order for us to be more prepared if there's more cyclones to come in this season.
The official cyclone season ends in April, and the message is clear: to stay alert and be prepared. Niue primary staff and management bid farewell to the Halamahaga school grounds one last time with an impromptu fun day. An open invitation was extended to students and parents more than a week ago, and more than 50 children were present to take part in a number of fun sports activities. Principal Itsitoki Tonga said that this was their last activity at the school grounds, that has given them many fond memories for the past 26 years. A number of makeshift barbecue stations were also set to provide nourishment as well as drinks, while activities were held to keep the children occupied. The school grounds have been used for various school and community events in the past, and its future use remains uncertain and dependent on government's plans. However, in anticipation of the new school year ahead, Arrow International have handed over the keys for the new primary school to the newer government in a small ceremony held last Friday. The new primary school site has been a major project that has taken about 3 years of planning, design and construction. Through a tripartite agreement, the construction has been funded by the Australian government, administered through the New Zealand government, and the government of Niue has funded the refurbishment, furniture and resources within the school. The Minister for Education, Honourable Pokotosi Pili, said that he was more than happy to receive the keys to the new building, indicating all is now ready for a fresh start this year. We were on site today and spoke to the Arrow International site manager about the project.
Arrow is very proud to be a part of this, and it's been an awesome project with the local workforce and working with the local companies. Beautiful school, well designed, and I'm sure it's going to be used for many years to come.
This marks yet another milestone for education on the island, and a lot of planning has gone into the school. Ben says that during the peak of the project they had about 25 local builders and labourers as well as 15 contractors from New Zealand working together to get the project completed on schedule, and the school also has some interesting facts about it.
There's several factors during the design process. So the school's been designed for low maintenance, so all the products here, a good wash every so often and things like that. It's built to last. It's a cyclone rated building, so it's cyclone rated 4, so it can be doubled as an emergency shelter if need be. We've got all these skylights and things like that in the roof to allow natural light into the classrooms, so it's really bright without having to use electrical. And then, of course, the heat was another factor. So there's 2 layers of insulation and reflective foil, and plenty of breeze through the classrooms, so that it stays nice and cool without having to use air conditioning and things like that. So landscaping's been massive. The whole site has a slope on it, so any water will head off into this rubble drain that we've dug, and so there shouldn't be any pooling over a long period of time. So there's been a lot of rock work and breaking, and again the labourers have done majority of that, and they've done a fantastic job. A lot of it, the piles and things like that, all had to be jackhammered by hand. The digger can't do that sort of work because it breaks too much of a surface area around the hole, makes it soft. So yeah, we're still going. We've got a little bit tidy up around you'll see on the open day, around the septic tanks, just getting the last little bit of topsoil in and the grass seed in. But really nice flat site now, and all the rocks have been knocked out and ready to go.
A public open day has been organised for tomorrow, Wednesday, where people are open to see firsthand what all the excitement is about, starting at 11 in the morning. School officially starts on Monday, the 1st of February. Niue's Legislative Assembly held their first meeting for this year, with a majority of the members present for a lively debate. Despite a few technical issues in the beginning, the session proceeded with the agenda set out. The questions portion of the discussions were all posed by Common Role member Stanley Kaloni, who questioned health, staffing and recruitment issues, clarification whether the solar farm problems had been resolved, and when government had approved the importation of beer bottles and other issues. Ministers of Cabinet proceeded to answer before moving on to the motions. The only motions that were put forward were from Common Role member Terry Coe. Firstly, for the civil and quarry personnel to return to a 5-day working week, for the roads to be patched up on a regular basis, and stockpiled quarry materials to be made readily available. This motion was defeated. Another motion that was discussed prior was for the BCN to put health and environmental clips on television and radio. This motion was carried. The last motion discussed was regarding the proposal to ban the importation of all sugary energy drinks. Although there was a lengthy debate for and against this motion, when put to the vote, the motion was carried. The meeting concluded, but it is unclear when the next Assembly meeting will be held due to the Premier's departure this week, but Speaker of the Assembly had indicated that notice would be given once the date had been confirmed. Niue Police have started this year with their campaigns to offset the number of drunk drivers and those who continue to speed. At the culmination of the long prayer week, Niue's New Year tradition, the Takai, got off without a hitch as villagers proceeded to decorate the vehicles, dress up in costumes, making noise to bring in the new year. Perhaps the only time the island roads experience a traffic jam of sorts, and more than often people tend to forget some of the road rules. One of the main warnings issued by Niue Police was for those on motorbikes to wear their helmets. Niue Police are satisfied that the festive season was generally safe, with their ongoing campaigns to minimize the number of drink drivers, motor vehicle collisions, and speeding. According to Inspector Brent Ioane, this year's festive season has been reasonably quiet in comparison to most years, and the police's main focus throughout the festive season was to stay alert to assist during the tropical cyclones that have passed. Niue Police say that the Takai went smoothly, besides a small number of people that did not wear their helmets during the Takai festivities, and say that action will be taken against them. The Niue Police urges the public to be safe, be aware, and to respect others when using the roads to avoid any accidents. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.